Okay. We're live. We're live with Lindsey
We're
P.
live. It's
Solomon.
amazing.
If you haven't seen Lindsey P. Solomon's lovely Museum of You video, he gave us a wonderful tour of his apartment. Lindsey, do you want to just introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, my name is Lindsey Solomon. I am 28. Um, I currently live in the East Village. I work in fashion. I'm a publicist. Um, I like things all reality TV and all things Jewish, lots of bagels. I ordered a lamb gyro for dinner, so I'm very excited, looking forward to that. It's arriving as soon
Exciting.
as this is over. Yeah.
um, cool. Uh, if you're watching and you have any questions for Lindsey, feel free. There we go to throw them in the chat. We have your two biggest fans, Laurel and Chloe, in the chat, ready to
Yeah.
go. Um, cool. So, how's your quarantine, your lockdown? How's it going so far, generally?
It's been good. I mean, like I have good days where I feel very like unproductive and very like lethargic. Um, it's like a weird time because I'm like phasing out of a job. I'm leaving next like month or so I'm making the necessary preparations for that. But I don't know. I mean, like, yes, is it like very daunting to like go out into the world again, unemployed in like a month, a little bit, but like I've oddly enjoyed the alone time. So yeah. I
Yeah,
wake
because
up, I
you
sleep in a little bit more. I watch my TikToks.
got to
Yeah.
have your TikToks. Because
TikToks are
you
very important. There are very specific genres.
you live alone, so how you said you've been enjoying that kind of alone time, but is that
Well, even when I was
challenging?
at work, I don't spend a lot of time in the apartment, so it's been nice to like watch a movie. I take as much work calls as possible here. Um, I think like the one sort of big transition for me has been like everyone that I work with, like their way of working and managing that. I've been doing a lot of Zoom touch base calls and which are nice, but like 2 hours in front of a camera where, you get a little bored, you gotta zone out. I realize that like I have a really bad like resting bitch face or bored face where like I'm in front of the computer and I can just kind of sense myself like grabbing my phone and I just like my head's like at one point my head's like here and like my phone is just like I'm just scrolling. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of miss just like regular phone calls.
Yeah, like everyone's like taking advantage of the fact that we're all in different places and it's like let's look at each other. Um, Although it was scary because on Monday I had to give a presentation to this new client in Hungary and my boss was supposed to be on it and she did not make the call, so I had to like sit and like give this whole video presentation by myself. So it was a little like at the moment it's like there's no sort of like opportunity to like put yourself on mute and like be like what the blank is going on here. Um, so I think Zoom etiquette is something that we're all sort of getting accustomed to. Um, you were there, but I recently did like a Zoom birthday party, and that in and of itself was like super daunting, like managing 30 sort of screens popping in and out was like a lot. And then as people sort of dropped off throughout the night, I was able to like more have in-depth conversations. But at the beginning, it was like an hour of everyone introducing themselves and like talking about their days. It was also like very chaotic. I think we were all very excited to like actually have human contact with each other.
Yeah, so two things, I guess. Like first, going back to kind of what you're saying about like actually just spending more time in the apartment. How has that like changed your view of your apartment, or has it?
Well, I think this is the apartment that I've actually spent the most sort of total time with that I've ever had. Um, I've had apartments in the past, but I think just because of my work schedule, I would come home, I would like watch TV, and then I'd go to bed. Um, so I think it's allowed me to have like a better sense of like what I'm looking for in an apartment. This sort of fell into my hands, and I'm looking for one in September. So I think it has a better sense of like what I'm really looking for. I have a lot of space, almost too much space, and I think I'm a lot more of a consolidated person. I have like lots of books, but like it's not like, you know, a large amount. And yeah, I mean, funnily enough, I've been like the storage unit for a bunch of my friends who have left town. Um, and it's slowly leaving the apartment. So, you know, I'm glad that I've been able to clear out sort of some space in the apartment. It was feeling a little cluttered. And on top of it, it's been like a storage unit for a bunch of samples from work, because magazines aren't shooting editorials. A lot of brands are doing a lot of gifting. So, you know, everything's been coming to the apartment. So it's been like full of boxes, and those are finally leaving. So that's good. So it's been like a much different sort of living arrangement that I've had previously,
Yeah.
especially because I live alone. So it's like it's my mess. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, then going back to your Zoom birthday party, we gotta know more. So that's you know, if you don't know Lindsay personally, his birthday is very important to him, and he always has. I usually kind of mark my years going back in time, kind of your birthday parties, almost like
Yeah.
rings in a tree. So this was the year of the Zoom birthday party, which was very different
Yeah.
for
I
you.
mean, I think it was a lot of fun. Um, I was on Zoom for like 5 hours. One of my friends, strangely enough, got alcohol poisoning because
during
he drank.
during your Zoom party.
I don't think I told you this, but my friend, who you know who I'm referring to, got very like turned up in his apartment and didn't feel so good after.
Um, I don't know who you're referring to, but excited to hear more after the
Ah!
live stream.
I'm trying to be discreet, but no, it was. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I asked for donations um, in kind to two of my favorite restaurants and places I probably would have had my birthday party at um, anyways. And they raised like $300, so that was cool. Um, Going into the quarantine, I have my friend who owns Williamsburg Pizza also owns. He was taking over this club that used to be Butter. Not that you and I ever went to Butter in college, but it's now going to be a club called Jeans, and I was going to do like a big rager there. But there's always LPS birthday extravaganza XVIV. Yeah, XXIV, because I'll be 29 next year.
They should have called the new club Margarine.
Margarine?
Yeah, as opposed to butter.
I'll let him know.
There's still time to change it.
I can't believe it's not Butter. Oh, fuck. It's such a really. Oh, fuck. That's a good club name. Fuck. All right. I'm going to text him that.
Okay. So hopefully, I mean, I know you've been getting out. I think you made the joke the other day about you know, the only thing that you can really do on dates anymore is like take long walks, just like the 1800s. But
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, the positive part about this whole situation, it's like, obviously you and I are in a group chat with a bunch of our friends, and you and I have like talk almost every other day, if not multiple times a day. Is like right before quarantine, I went on a couple of dates with this guy, and I think we both mutually felt that we like separate from the quarantine, that we had like the same sort of mutual feelings for each other. So um it's definitely been interesting to like have a boyfriend during quarantine. Like only I would have a boyfriend during a national crisis. Um but he's very sweet, and he bikes over from Bushwick every Friday or Saturday, and he spends the weekend here. He strangely enough puts up with my snoring, but yeah, like the one thing that we can both mutually agree on is going for a walk. And it's nice because he just moved here from Minneapolis, so it's been nice to like give him like my tour of New York, which is, you know, obviously like a very specific subset and still very historical. I have a lot of the New York facts like here, but you know, a very like Lindsey centric tour of New York. It's like, and this is where Adam and I lived in like 2013. This is where, you know, this is where my dorm was. So it's been nice. I mean, like, yes, last weekend we did. I live on Fifth and Bowery, and I walked to the Hudson River, and then we just walked the West Side Highway around to like we like walked past South Street Seaport and then up around, and that was like 8 miles. And we've been doing that quite consistently, so it's good. You know, I get my steps in for my Pokemon Go, and I get my eggs and my Super Balls, and I can't complain.
Yeah. And you get a nice, quiet New York for once.
For sure. The only thing was it was funny because I was having some technical difficulties, you know, trying to figure out how I was going to get on Zoom. My computer's been freezing. It's like as I was loading up the iPad, my street is very participatory in the 7 o'clock clapping. So like as I was getting on the iPad, it was like
same.
Not that I participate. I mean, like I've done my share other ways, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing these mostly at 7 o'clock, and we really should start each Zoom with like a giant clap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the chat. If you're in the chat and you have any questions for Lindsey, let's go. Let's get some questions for Lindsey and about his quarantine. There's like a 30-second delay, so I'll ask you another question. I've been asking everybody. This question has not been successful for most people, but is there any particular object in your apartment or that you have that has been bringing you any amount of comfort during this time?
Good question. I feel like my toaster oven. Let's go with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of our mutual friends left town and went back to Vermont, and he very nicely, and I happily obliged because I love him. He's one of our dearest friends. He had to like get the apartment packed up and move out because there was a situation with his current apartment and his new apartment. So I had to supervise a move for like 13 hours, supervise these like 4 Serbian men to pack up my friend's things and get it out of the apartment. I had to sweep it and everything. And my sort of gift was I had to take all the frozen food. So I've been eating like a bunch of like frozen dumplings every night. So I make these like massive plates of dumplings, like a whole bag, because I had so much frozen food and I've just been like putting in I have this great toaster oven from Williams and Sonoma, and yeah, just eating a lot of like dumplings, which is my favorite. Thankfully enough, the Selka comes back on May 1, so I can eat pierogies and dumplings there. But like, it's been filling a void in my heart because I live near B&H and the Selka, so you know, I love my pierogies.
Yeah, that ties into several questions we have in the chat. First one from Patrick and Verna. Lindsey, what's your favorite takeout spot for quarantine?
The fun part is like a lot of my favorites have been closed.
Yeah.
I usually go to Brooklyn Bagel every morning on 8th and Mercer. I'm one of their only customers, so I come in with my mask and I sanitize and I get my bagel. I've been eating a lot of nachos. There's a Mexican place around the corner. The loveliest part about quarantine is that a lot of places have waived their delivery fees, so I've been eating a lot of Taco Bell. So I've been eating a lot of chalupas. What?
Respect though to Taco Bell. They have a vegan menu.
I've been trying out a lot of new restaurants. A lot of them have been doing like discount codes. I have a Giro coming in a little bit, which I'm very excited about. Yeah.
Cooper asked, how's my stuff holding up in your apartment, which I think you talked about, but
To that, Cooper, I say Matt was here today and he picked up his things. The only thing I have left is your girlfriend's shit, her laundry, and her bag, and your roommate's plants. I have a bunch of plants. I'm a plant dad now.
are you taking care?
What?
Are you taking care of them?
Yes. I have a bunch of plants. I have a vine plant that's been hanging in my shower. So, yeah.
Daniel Inferno wants to know favorite Pokemon and type.
I don't have a specific type, but my favorite thing to do is to evolve the Pokemon. It's my favorite thing to do. I love like getting enough candies and like just like evolving it. I transfer my Pokemon all the time. I get bored. I'm very reckless like that. So I'm like, we'll go give it back to the professor. So I've been evolving a lot of Pokemon. That's my favorite thing to do.
Nice.
The sad part is like Pokemon I don't remember like what's that?
I just said Pokemon Go is your game, but continue, please.
Yeah, I mean, like you got me into it. It's been very oddly nice, and then, my boyfriend gave me a house on his island, on his Animal Crossing island, so that's been nice. So I've recently become a homeowner, a real estate owner. Yeah.
Nice. Probably the last question from Patrick. It says, Lindsey, do you want to go public with that thing you said about Adam to me behind his back?
That I would go paintballing, you dick? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we will be going paintballing.
It's the only thing I can think of, but yeah, probably is what it's referring
to. Well, Lindsey, thank you so much for joining this Museum of You live stream. We love creating content here together on this stream. Lovely shirt, lovely apartment, lovely person. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. This has been such an honor.
Oh my God, he left.